Hi, and welcome in. I am so excited for this community and this discussion that we're having today about self-worth. I have been hearing so much feedback from you all about different areas of your life where you are growing and you are developing, and how much you want to stretch and do more, myself included. And there is one thing that is really going to exponentially help you grow and help you get there, and that is raising your self-worth. I know over the years, I'm so proud of myself for how far I've come. I think about young Danielle, who was really low and down on myself, questioning if I belonged, questioning if I deserved to be there, questioning if I was truly accepted, and what would I have to do in order to earn that level of acceptance. And then fast forwarding to today, where I know the knowledge and power of just being, of just the fact that I am alive makes me worthy. And I'm super excited about how my life will transform and continue to transform based off my worthiness continuing to grow higher and higher. So in today's discussion, I will first share with you a quick visualization that I use whenever life is kind of getting challenging, or if my worth comes into question. This visualization brings me right back to a grounded, centered root chakra. We're also going to discuss the survey results. So if you have participated in this week's survey, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you're like, wait, what are you talking about? Every week I post a survey question about the topic that we're going to share. So this week is self-worth, and the survey question was, what area of your life exposes that your self-worth still needs work? And the four options were: number one, self-care; number two, your finances; number three, your relationships; and number four, your mindset. So just to say that a different way, just to clarify, or if you're like, wait, what's the question? The question is, you're working on your self-worth, but maybe there's an area of weakness. Which area would you say is your weakest, or exposing that your self-worth isn't still quite yet where you want it to be? And again, those answers are: is it in your self-care? You could show a little bit more worthiness. Is it in your finances? You could show some more worthiness. Is it in your relationships? Or is it in your mindset? So we're going to dive into each one of these categories. But first, I think that let's just do the drum roll and say the answers of what the survey results were. So if you're like, wait, I wasn't able to participate, join the mailing list, join the social media groups on Instagram, on TikTok, and on our private Facebook group, and I would love for you to participate. So here were the answers. Now, I've been watching this all week, couldn't wait to see what area we all were like struggling the most in. And at first, it kept being relationships. Like relationships was like top, almost like in the 90s%. Is like, I guess those people answered first, but that didn't end up being the number one answer. The number one answer ended up being self-care. At 43% of us are struggling, and our self-care exposes that our worth is not really where it needs to be. That could be anywhere from habits, diets, just how we're taking care of ourselves. The second top answer was relationships, and that was at 29%. And then the last one was mindset and finances were tied, both at 14%. So definitely there is still work to do, which I'm super excited about. If you are new to our channel, we just work on ourselves. We work on our energy. We realize that whatever situation that we're in, whatever struggle that we're facing, it's all internal. The power is inside and the adjustment is inside. And so we have the power to have the outside world reflect whatever we want back to us if our energy is in proper alignment. And the tool that we use to make sure our energy is in alignment is the chakra system. So this way we can really diagnose, like, what part of the body is this coming from? What energy is this coming from? And self-worth is a root chakra energy topic. It's foundational, meaning that this has been a topic since birth, and it'll be a topic until the day we die, because it's sort of like the first and final trap of spirituality. Like when most of us in this community especially consider ourselves very spiritual beings. And the first thing we have to overcome is that we're worthy. Like every other decision and interaction we have isn't going to go right until we realize that we're worthy. The way we treat ourselves, so self-care, that'll be the first one we talk about, since 43% of us said that. So the way we treat ourselves isn't going to be at its best unless we ultimately feel like we're worthy. And then the final trap, so that's the first thing, is getting over this worthiness issue. But then it's also going to be the final thing, like the final, like when we're at our end of our lives and we have done so much, and that's the trick, that we have earned and we've worked and we've loved and we've built a family and we've built a career. That's not really going to matter in whether or not you're worthy. Will it matter in other areas? Of course, but your worthiness, that's never going to change. And so really understanding that, there's nothing you can do to take away your worthiness, and there's nothing you can do to earn it. You can't lose your worthiness. You can't, not really increase it. At least that's where I'm at right now, y'all, in my spiritual journey. Maybe that's the first comment. Can you increase it? But there's no amount of good or evil that you can do in this life. Like Hitler and Mother Teresa are both innately worthy. Like worthiness that's how innate, that's how eternal worthiness is. We are all just a fraction of God, and it's turned on at birth. So the root chakra, that red light at your tailbone, is instantly turned on at birth. And so this segues perfectly to the first thing I want to share with you, which is this visualization technique, okay? So whether you have a piece of paper and pen, you actually want to draw it out, or if you just want to sit back and let me guide you through it, either way. But I want you to imagine your cute little face when you were a baby. And if you're drawing it, draw a smiley face. And I want you to think about the moment you were born, that little face that popped out. Here we go. You were a little cutie pie. And you at birth were instantly super valuable, super desirable, super worthy. No one questioned your worthiness. You didn't have to do anything for it. In fact, you couldn't. I mean, a baby literally can't do anything, and yet they're priceless. So this is you. This is your root chakra, innately worthy. Then you come into the world, you start interacting with other people, you go through your childhood and even into your adulthood. This then now surrounds you, and this is everybody else, okay? All of these people throughout all of your childhood have been giving you opinions of you. And so I want you to draw, if you are drawing with me, a whole bunch of arrows coming in, okay? All of these opinions of what you're worth, whether or not you're worthy to be in my friendship group, whether or not you're worthy to work in this job, whether or not you're worthy to be in this family or show up to Thanksgiving dinner. Who do you think you are? All of these have been coming in towards you. Now, what I used to do, and what some of you may be doing, is putting a ton of value on that. That was one of the first things that my husband pointed out to me, and I'm so grateful for him to say it, and it super offended me, which means it's true, was, you care so much about what other people think. I was like, oh my God, yeah, I do. And now I care that you said that. Anyways, so this is all the outside world. Now, some of these things we internalize and we truly believe them. Some of them we rejected easily, and some of them subconsciously slipped in and we didn't even realize it. Root chakra work is about figuring out what all that is and whether or not we want it to stay or leave. So I highly recommend continuing to work on your root. I have a root chakra course that I highly recommend where we dive into all the different categories of the root chakra. There's a whole root system that each affect each other. I also have a journal where you can really do some self-exploration. I'll put the links down below. I super recommend it. But for now, what I want you to do is now place actual values on these things, okay? You also have opinions of yourself. So it comes out of you and goes right back into you, okay? This is what I want you to do. Let's place a value on all these things. Anything that someone says to you, whether it's bad or good, right? Like I love getting compliments. If someone's like, oh, I really like your hair. I like I like your shoes, or, oh, that was so cute what you were doing with your son. Like all those compliments, I love them. But I'm going to place the value at 1 cent, 1 penny. I'm never going to reject it. They all go into my piggy bank of worthiness, right? That makes me feel good. That makes me feel worthy. And thank you. All these compliments are going to go in and go into my piggy jar, but they're worth a penny. Then the things that I say about myself and to myself are going to be worth 25 cents. A whole lot more, right? A whole lot more that's going into my piggy bank every time I say it. And I want to make sure that I'm saying nice things to myself, right? That's a big part of your worthiness. So it's like if you're tearing yourself down, and I guess we'll dive more into that with the mindset work. But put that in your piggy bank. Compliment yourself. It's free. So it just keeps adding up your worth and your value. And now the last thing is your actual core self. Your actual core self, I want you to put, is worth $1 bazillion. 1 bazillion. Okay, whatever that actually means. I don't know how many zeros that would be. But this is the visualization that I use whenever I question my worthiness. Whenever I question, oh, and this is a good time to point out, well, what is worthiness? What am I questioning? You're questioning this. Am I enough? So I put it at the top. Oh, it's going to show up backwards for you guys. My bad. But that says, am I enough? So anytime you are questioning and asking yourself, am I enough? Am I worthy of this? Am I educated enough? Do I know enough? Am I old enough? Anytime you question this principal question to yourself, I want you to think about how much you're worth. Think, oh, okay, well, automatically I'm starting at worth $1 bazillion. And not in an arrogant way. That was one of the lies and blocks that I had to overcome, is that I thought putting my value at that made me arrogant. It doesn't. In no way does that make you arrogant. It just means that you know your worth and you can sit on it. Think about how differently you sit and stand knowing you're worth $1 bazillion. I instantly started smiling. Because I'm like, I know a secret. I know a secret that no one else in the room knows. So it doesn't matter if someone says, you look ugly today. I'm like, that's not what my bank account says. That's not what my self-worth says. So think of that visualization. I hope that helps. I hope you use it. Now let's dive into the 4 categories. Okay. Here we go. Okay. Oh, I do want to say one other thing. You know how I said that your worth can never go down? It can never change. It doesn't matter what good or evil you do, you're still worthy. There is something you can do though. You can either showcase it or hide it. That was really powerful for me. I mean, I'm gonna, I guess, click it myself. Put it in the comments. What do you guys think of that? I thought that was really deep. But showcase it or hide it. A lot of us hide it. A lot of us hide how worthy we are. I don't know what that is. Is it shame? Is it embarrassment? Is it, for me, it was definitely just not wanting to be arrogant. That was like my main block. I was like, I want to appear humble over here. I would even tear myself down to appear humble. Makes no sense. And that was actually doing way more subconscious damage because I was just seeking attention and seeking acceptance. Like, oh, if they think I'm humble, they'll be more likely to like me. So if I make fun of myself, then I already did what they were about to do to me, so they don't have to do it anymore. Blase blah. Root chakra work. Dive into why you hide your worthiness. Okay, so that's a homework assignment. Okay, now, lack of worthiness is the #1 cause of depression and anxiety. Those are other root chakra issues. So because you're relying on the compliments of others and it's never going to fill your jar. Like, just so you know, 1 penny at a time is never going to get you there. Life is literally too short. You'd have to live an eternal life in order for the amount of compliments you get to add up to how worthy you should automatically feel, okay? But anyways, so then you start trying to prove yourself, you're trying to peacock, you're trying to show off, you start comparing, you start raising your value by tearing other people down. None of these strategies are going to work. It really has to come from the inside. You just have to innately know that you're worthy, which I get is hard. So we're going to go into each category that will help remind you that you're worthy. And the #1 was self-care. Okay, so here we are. We're at the self-care. So I want you to comment, how is your self-care? We'll answer this in the comments. How is your self-care showing your worth? Now, I'm going to share my example because it's embarrassing and we're all going to get a good laugh out of it. Okay, so my self-care has varied throughout my life. And there were times when I really let it slip, and one was COVID. Okay, so COVID was the first time like I got let go from my job and I started an at-home business. It ended up being really successful. To this day, I still have not ever had a job since COVID. So that was the big, cataclysmic event that really actually set my life in a really positive direction. So that was really kind of cool. I loved COVID for those reasons. Obviously, I didn't love the disease. I'm sorry if that came off insensitive. Okay, but anyways, because I was working from home, my self-care really went down. I was the pajama queen. I was the bun queen because I'm like, no one's seeing me. I can just be cozy and comfy. That was the initial mindset, was like, oh, like I don't have anyone to impress. The issue with that is I'm no longer impressing myself either. So every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, girl, you're looking rough. All those 25-cent comments I was saying to myself, negatively going out of the jar, and then really just not seeing that inner core of me. Do you know what I mean? It was beyond just like the negative comments. It was like, I didn't look like I was valuable. I didn't look like I was worthy. It started to really get like ridiculous because I'd put on my pajamas and my husband, who's very, very funny, would say, putting on your uniform again? I was like, oh my God. My bathrobe became my uniform. So, yeah. It also triggered like a whole row of side effects. Like, I did way less socializing. I never wanted to FaceTime because I wasn't ready for a FaceTime. I didn't want to be seen. I didn't want to go out. Even after COVID, like when things opened up, like it still lingered. Like there's still a part of me that wanted to say, I'd rather stay home and be cozy, right? I had to really decide that I'm going to dress up every day because that's the abundance mindset. Every day is a blessing. I have an abundance of beautiful clothes to wear. I have an abundance of earrings. Like these earrings, right? To me, these earrings look super fancy, almost gaudy. I love them. But I'd be like, I'm only gonna wear that like on a really special occasion, like a really nice date night, like that's when I'll wear it. Do you hear how scarcity that sounds? Like instead of thinking like, oh, I'm gonna wear this today because it looks bomb. I'm gonna wear it because I have it. I'm gonna wear it because I can. Not because I'm in some scarcity, like I only have 2 good earrings and I only have 2 good outfits and I gotta save those for a special occasion. Or I'm only gonna put my makeup on when I'm going out for someone else. Like no, like I'm gonna get dressed up, I'm gonna impress myself, I'm gonna love on myself. It's gonna brighten my mood. I'm gonna want to be seen. Like I'm gonna wanna go out. I'm gonna wanna say hi to the neighbor. I'm not gonna be, oh God, I hope no one says hi to me right now. I hope nobody sees me in this grocery store that I was unexpectedly coming to. I only need cheese. Like, oh, it's such a ripple effect. It's such a ripple effect. So please comment and tell me like, what's going on with the self-care? What's the belief? What's the underlying belief there of why we are not looking our absolute best every single day? And then, the other thing to replace, like I replace that I belief with, people are gonna treat you how you treat yourself. Whoa, that actually could fit into every category that we're about to talk about. When I am spending time on self-care and really thinking of that time as an investment, I think that's the other thing. People are like, I don't have the time for that. Instead of saying like, I have so much time for myself, like it's fine waking up a little earlier or staying up a little later and like pampering myself. Like, don't I want someone else to do that to me? Don't I want someone else to come and like, if someone came right now and was just like brushing my hair, I'd have all day for that. If someone came and was like lotioning my legs and my feet, right? Obviously that's a husband thing, which he does, but like him rubbing and lotioning my feet, I'm like, oh, you could do that every day. Like you can do that all day, every day. But I could also do it to myself. And I know that sounds like, well, I don't want to do it to myself, but like, think about it. Like when you're lotioning yourself, or when you're putting on a face mask, or just like putting like some lotion on your hands, slowing down and enjoying it and really like saying like, I am worthy to be treated like this. Like I am worthy of all this divine loving. Okay. Oh, did I skip something? Sorry guys, I'm bouncing around. Okay, did I say what the definition of self-worth was already? Because I did this video like 2 times because I was trying to go live and it didn't work. Okay, how about this? The definition of self-worth that I'm using, you're welcome to use, is the sense that you deserve to be alive, loved, cared for, and you're allowed to take up space. That's worthiness. So the first one, you are worthy to be alive, meaning that when you're doing self-care, you are worthy of the best foods. You're worthy of the organic, you're worthy of the rich foods that like only the rich people can afford to eat. You can eat that. And a lot of that's not even like expensive. You go to the grocery store, you're just treating yourself like a garden. You're picking the berries. You're picking the leaves, the variety of leaves to make this custom salad. You are not some cheap, I almost said something. You are not just some McDonald's French fry that never rots. You're better than that. So it's like, what's going on? Because I'm guilty. I actually do Burger King. That's my little, I had to come over Burger King, right? In my mindset, I was like, well, I know if I was home, I'd make myself this beautiful salad, but I'm in a hurry, I'm in a rush. I don't want to, I don't have the effort. I'm just gonna go and I'm just gonna get this cheap burger and fries? What is that telling myself about what I'm worth? I'm worth $6.99 right now. I'm worth that food taking forever to digest in my colon. I'm worth the Burger King crown. I'm worth a paper crown. You know what I'm saying? It's just asking ourselves, what is each action I'm doing saying about my worth? Taking off my clothes, like talking about habits and routines, taking off my clothes and just laying them on the floor, like I'm done with the day. And here it is. What is that saying about my worth? Am I worthy of a beautiful bedroom that looks like it's straight out of a magazine? Well, if I'm worthy of that, then there can't be just clothes on the floor. That's never in a magazine, right? So it's like we are subconsciously telling ourselves and reinforcing our value of what we think we're worthy of in every action we take. And you already know exactly how worthy you think you are by looking at the world around you. So like look at your car. If you've got a car, look at your apartment. If you have an apartment, I don't know what your situation is. You can comment your situation. I'd love to talk to you about it. But look around at your environment. That's what you think you're worthy of. Look around at your clothes. That's what you think you're worthy of. Now this is deeply rooted. That's why I said this is root chakra work. It's not just as simple as saying, well, I'll just raise my worth, right? Like, it's a practice, it's healing, it's seeing how it's connected to other things like your inner child, like the tribe and the people that you're around. Is everyone you're around at all their worth low too? Or is all their worth real high? Or how high, right? Like I surround myself with really worthy people, but there's higher, right? Like how high do we want to go? Like some of you might not, I might have lost some of y'all with all this, I don't leave my clothes on the floor. Or I don't go to Burger King. I might have lost you on that. But come back because there's always a higher level, right? So it's like whether or not you can't relate to that, but you're like, well, I'm at this level. There's always a higher level, and it doesn't have to be financially. It could be with self-care. It could be health. So some of the things that I've been adding into my self-care is dressing up daily and daily makeup. I like it. It doesn't have to be for you, but it makes me feel beautiful every day. Like I'm pampered. I want people to see me, and it gets me that one penny compliment, which I like. And then it also, when I see myself in the mirror, if I'm passing by the mirror, I go, you're just so worthy. Like you are worth $1 bazillion. I've also been doing daily oiling. So I oil my hair. After I take my makeup off, I oil my face, I oil my body, I oil my feet. And then I do a ball foot release. So the root chakra affects all the lower body parts from your hips down, so your legs. So if you're suffering with like restless leg syndrome or what's that one? I always mispronounce it. Plantar fasciitis, the foot issue, or knee pain. All of that is a physical manifestation of root chakra imbalance. So I also treat those things. I do yoga every day, which is my way of stretching and releasing that energy. But I also take like a tennis ball and I roll my feet over it. That's self-care. Oh, it feels so good. The feet are connected to every other part of your body in some way, in some area. So just releasing that energy and just really taking care of myself. I've been sleeping more. I've been taking naps without guilt. I've been going to bed early. I've been playing relaxing music while I'm getting dressed or while I'm brushing my teeth. Like I'm really pampering myself. Because what is one of the definitions that I said with worthiness? Being cared for. So it's the sense that you deserve to be alive, to be loved, to be cared for, and to take up space. Like I'm allowed to be present. Like I'm allowed to be here and to shine. And remember we were saying that you either hide your worth or showcase your worth. I'm allowed to showcase my high self-worth. Okay, so now let's move into number 2, relationships. So I want you to think about right now, how is your self-worth being demonstrated through the relationships that you have, okay? What are you accepting and what are you attracting? Okay? So when my self-worth was lower, I was very willing to settle for less than what I wanted. In one of my very first like serious relationship, I was in college. I had a car, I had a job, I had a scholarship. I was doing the damn thing. I really was. I was freaking killing it and not knowing it. Worth issues, right? And feeling like I had something that I needed to prove. And by the way, solar plexus, the yellow one, that's the mantra I do. So anything you do or accomplish is not even root work. That's all just your personal power, your identity. And we'll get to solar plexus. That's a really powerful one. That's literally the fire sign. But until then, it's never going to get down to the root. It's never going to be the earth sign. So it didn't matter that I was doing all that. Like, I thought that's what was going to get my worthiness high. It didn't, because it can't. But anyways, because my worthiness was lower, I settled for a guy who was literally just available. That's what I wanted. I wanted companionship over compatibility, companionship over receptivity. So I settled for a guy who had no car. He dropped out of college after the first year. He really had a negative relationship with his mom. Not like obviously so. I think that would have been like a bigger red flag that I would have walked away from like easier. It was like a subtle red flag. It was just like he didn't want to ultimately take care of his mom. Like it was very much so like she's on her own. And I'm like, if that's how you're gonna do your mama, how you gonna do me? So just settling. So like, yeah, maybe ask yourself, where are you settling for less than what you want? Do you not feel worthy of it? Like, thank God later in my relationship, later in my life, I found my husband who, he's just so cool. But he, you know, I just feel like we're a good match. And it's like the worthiness, it was a little higher because he was making more than I was even expecting my spouse to make. He was had like a bigger family than I wanted a guy with a big family and a big network. He had a bigger family than I was even expecting. Like it was just, you know, he checked off so many boxes off my love list and I'm so grateful for him. But where was I talking about? All right, settling and not settling. So ask yourself that. The second is, where are you trying to prove your worth? Oh my goodness. I actually did this with my daughter. So my daughter I had with that college sweetheart, and we didn't stay together. And so this was so strange for me. In my family, people are like married forever. Like my parents have been married for 50 years to this day. So I didn't come from a broken home. So creating one, and like, I felt so guilty. I felt so bad that I was like, I really don't want to be with him. And I'm not going to force myself to be with him just because we have a kid. But man, do I feel bad that I created this broken home for her. And then as she got older, she really, really liked her dad, which is great. Which is absolutely great. But I created this weird competition of worthiness, like she wasn't going to love me as much as him, or that she was going to choose a favorite, which comes from my own childhood root chakra work. But anyways, I felt like I had to prove to her that I was worthy to be in her life, that I was a good mom, even though I created this broken home for her, which really is not all my blame, okay? And she has a good life. I had to really work through that mother-daughter relationship because of the amount of guilt that I have. Just proving myself, over-giving, giving to, like, being overly generous. So like, where in your life are you overly giving assistance? Where you're overly giving advice? Where you're overly trying to help because you are trying to prove that you are a good person in this relationship, that your role is worthy to be here. Another example of proving yourself, have you guys seen this show on YouTube? And I think they have live shows. There's a live show coming here and I'm gonna go see it. It's called Pitch a Friend. Have you seen this? Comment if you've seen this. I can't wait to see the show. I think it's gonna be super fun and hilarious and entertaining, but at its core, I really question like, okay, this is really just getting up there and proving yourself. Like, the one friend gets up there, two friends go up, and one friend says, hey, this is my single friend, Matthew. He is super awesome. I don't even know why he's single. He's successful. He's got a 9-to-5. He's a good friend. He has a dog. He takes great care of his dogs. Anyone here, he would be a great catch. Whoever is interested in him, please contact my friend Matthew. So I think it's a fun principle, and like I said, like I think it's super fun, and I can't wait to see it. But at its core, there is some proving there, like proving the worth. So where is your energy giving off that you have to prove your worth in order to be in the relationship? And then some tips that I have, like two lessons that I learned in growing my worthiness in relationships is one, that knowing yourself makes you a way better match. Like way better match. Like doing all of this work on yourself, knowing your core values, knowing your routine, knowing what you stand for, knowing your sense of humor, knowing what makes you feel good, knowing what you want. The more you are in tune with your own self, the way better you're going to be in a relationship. And the second thing is that most people just want someone to be with. So it's that sense of being again, right? Like you're not doing, it's that baby. It's that bajillion-dollar baby. Okay? Someone just wants that person to just be with them. You ever see like an old couple just sitting in rocking chairs next to each other? Like they've been together so long, there's nothing to prove or do or show. They're literally just like, I just want you to be in the same room as me. I can just feel your energy with the silence. That's what most people want. Like, I just want someone to be with me, to just want to be near me. And so when you tap into that sense of being, relationships get so much easier. Like knowing like, hey, between me and my sister, I don't have to make her laugh. I don't have to be her babysitter. I don't have to give her money. I'm just your sister. Like I'm just here next to you. I've been your sister since birth. It was just an inherit. I didn't earn it. I'm worthy to be your sister because I'm born into your bloodline. That's it. All right, let's move on to finances. Okay, so I want you to think about how you currently earn and how you currently spend, okay? Look at your current state. Look at how much money you make. That's how worthy you think you are, okay? I want you to think about your current values about money. That's what got you here. I want you to think about your current beliefs about your finances. That's what got you to where you're at right now. So your outside world is already reflecting what's going on the inside, okay? Now maybe it's lower than you want it to be. Maybe it's plateaued. Maybe you like it, but you just want more, right? You still have to do some self-reflection here of where is your worthiness playing a role in this equation. So your energy is always going to affect it. Have you been devaluing yourself? I did this. I didn't like what I majored in college. I wanted to be a business major and a Spanish minor. But then I got pregnant in college. I couldn't finish my degree the way I wanted to. So I had to flip it. I ended up being a Spanish major and a business minor. And that just messed up my worthiness. Because I was like, I'm a Spanish major now? That's what I'm graduating with? What makes me different from just a native Spanish speaker? I'm not Hispanic. So I had all these stories I was telling myself, each worth a quarter, about how I was not really worthy of a Spanish degree because I wasn't a native speaker, and how anyone who hired me would be crazy. You'd be crazy to hire me because All I got is a Spanish degree. And so I settled, so that's that settling energy, for a $12 an hour job at a daycare, which ended up being God's divine alignment and assignment, because I learned so much about kids. And then later, now I own a yoga business that teaches primarily kids. I learned so much from that daycare, so it was meant to be. But it was still a reflection of low self-worth. There's a proving ourselves, like, where are you proving yourself with your finances, right? Like, trying to think like, oh, I can't ask for this raise until I do ba 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 ba. I can't go and start that business until I do ba 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 ba. I can't step into that marketplace until I've earned ba 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 ba. Really think about and reflect and comment, share this, guys. Like, this helps all of us by hearing what is going on. What are you thinking? Helps all of us, because we might be thinking that too and not even realizing it. But remember, self-worth is I deserve to be cared for. I deserve to be alive. I deserve to take up space, to be present here. So some of the lessons that I learned with finances and worthiness is I'm worthy of mentors and advisors. That means I'm worthy to be cared for, right? To be loved. Like, someone's gonna care for me and tell me step by step what they think is best for me. Like, I'm worthy of that, even if I've already disobeyed them. So this is what I did. I got an advisor, so at least I had that much worthiness where I felt like I was worthy of a mentor. Then I followed what he said. This was a real estate mentor. I followed what he said. I bought several real estate properties, and then he said, now don't you go buy yourself a personal home to live in, because that's not an asset, that's a liability, and it's going to slow you down. And I said, it slows the average person down. And so I did it anyways, and then it ended up playing out just like he said. It totally slowed down my real estate business. I mean, I was ramping up like crazy, and then boom, plateaued for years because I did that. Then I felt like because I disobeyed them, my mentor, I'm no longer worthy of getting mentored. That's not true. That's not true. You think I'm the only person who disobeyed them? Come on. Look how many people get detention. Okay, but anyways, don't lie to yourself and think that anything that you've done is going to change your worthiness to be cared for and to be monitored, to be mentored in your finances. Number 2, you're allowed to be present, right? So that just being energy of I just am here. I'm here right now. You're allowed to be present in new markets and in new levels. So a new market, maybe you've always done real estate and you've never done stocks. And now you're like questioning if you're worthy to go to the stock meeting. And you're like, or be in a discussion with a whole bunch of investors who are all like stock investors. And you're like, I don't know if I'm worthy to be here. Yes, you are. You know why? Because you're a bajillionaire. You're worth $1 billion. That's how much you're worth. So you are allowed to walk in, show your cute little baby face, and sit in a room where you know nothing about that. You can still be present. You can still be you. I am here right now. Or at a new level. Let's say that you make 6 figures and you're hanging out with a whole bunch of people who make 7 figures. Your worthiness better not stop you from being in that room. You better not have some worthiness bullcrap pop up that says, oh, I can't hang out with these millionaires. Yes, you can. They're alive, you're alive. You're just as worthy as they are. They did nothing to make themselves more worthy than you. Period. Don't let that mess up your money. Okay, next. Don't set prices off of other people's pockets. So let's say you own a business. You own a business and you're just trying to decide how much you're going to set your price at. You better not set your price. Let's say you sell peaches. You better not sell a peach based off of what these people say they can afford. Well, I think based off all these pennies of opinions that I've received, that they can only afford a peach for a penny. No. You're going to set your price in your business based off what you want it to be. That's it. You just want it to be that price. That's why it's that price. Why is it this price? Because I want it to be. You don't think I'm worthy of it? This peach is $100. What? Yes. Yes, this peach is $100, baby. And there's going to be people paying $100 for that peach. Okay. And last one, your mindset. So 14% of us in the community said that your mindset is where your worthiness is lacking. And I think we touched on that with a lot of these other ones, but it's the thoughts that you're repeating to yourself. So what are you saying to yourself? Where is your confidence? What are you saying to yourself about your worthiness? Remember that whatever you are saying is only worth a quarter. Okay? Then you have to find the source. Okay, so once again, I love how much we're going to this visualization. You need to find the source of what it is that you're saying to yourself. So let's say you're saying, they hate me, right? Where are you getting that from? Where is this coming from? Why are you saying they hate you? Okay? You have to diagnose that that's actually coming from your own head. That's an assumption. You are assuming. If they've never said it, okay, let's back up. Let's say they've never said they hate you, but you're saying that they hate you. That's an assumption. They could just be in a bad mood. You could remind them of someone who did hurt them. Like, there's a whole plethora of reasons why they're interacting with you the way that they are. You cannot, when you're doing worthiness, there is nothing that they can think that can affect your worthiness. You cannot judge yourself. You cannot judge others. You cannot be personalizing other people's reactions. So like, their reaction has nothing to do with you. And if it does have something to do with you, don't let it be about fixing them or creating a relationship that they don't want to have. Fix your own energy. What happened here? What happened inside here? Comparison. So maybe your thoughts, you're like, oh, my worthiness comes from this repeated thought that I have about comparing. It cannot come from comparing. It cannot come from blame. My worthiness comes from my mom who never said blah, 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 blah. It cannot, your worthiness has nothing to do with her. Of course, she's working on her worthiness. You know, it's something that I forgot to say. Self-worth is always an individual process. It doesn't matter what kind of household you came into. Some of us were luckier than others. Some of us came into households where they were purposely torn down. Some of us came into households where their parents and families were super awakened and they poured as much self-worth as they possibly could into that person. Regardless, it's personal. You could have someone come from someone who was torn down that decided on an individual process to decide that they're worthy anyways. And you could have someone come from a really nice family where they were trying to build their self-worth and they chose and they decided that they were not worthy. We do the best we can as parents, but worthiness is, like I said, it is the first and final trap of spirituality. That's why we're sent to this earth, to figure this out. Okay, let's say that in your mind, because there's still mindset work, right? The thoughts that we're repeating to ourselves. Maybe it's getting so bad. Maybe your worthiness is so bad at this, or value is so low at this point that you're saying, I hate myself. Let's say it's that low. You can use meditations, mantras, and affirmations to get you out of that mindset, because it's all mindset work, right? So we're talking actually about the crown chakra here, that the crown chakra has an imbalance. Your mindset is taking over what you think your self-worth is. You got to get out of your head and program down into your root. So affirmations help with programming. You hear the same thing over and over again, it's going to sink into your subconscious. The trick is here that a lot of people go from A to Z. So you can't be telling yourself for years, I hate myself. And then someone like me shows up and says, you should do an affirmation that says, I love myself. there's going to be something in you that goes, I hate myself, I love myself. That's too big of a jump. And to say I love myself actually insults my intelligence, because my whole life up until this point has shown otherwise, that I don't love myself. So now I'm just going to lie to myself? Like, that's an insult. Like, obviously I know what the opposite of hate is, right? So it's just too big of a jump. So you have to choose something that is better than the next step, better than the last thing you were saying, but it's a stair step to get you all the way to I love myself. So maybe the stair step from I hate myself is to, well, I can at least appreciate the fact that I care. You know, I mean, at least I care. So that would be like the next step is, you know what? I'm special because I care. Because it's true. You're not lying to yourself. You didn't do a huge leap. It doesn't insult your intelligence. You're like, well, that is true. It's a believable next step. So as long as you're picking affirmations that you didn't just Google, ones that actually customizedly fit to you in your situation. If you're dealing with, you know, a cousin that you're struggling with, make an affirmation specifically about that. Like, I am a good cousin. Right? Or well, at least I'm a cousin who cares, right? Always step your way with your affirmations and repeat them frequently until they program out of your head and down into your root and become a foundation that adds to that piggy bank. So, this stream went a lot longer than I thought, but I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Whenever you're questioning, let me just end with this. Whenever you're questioning your self-worth, you're really asking yourself, do I deserve to be on this planet? Am I enough to justify my existence here? And if you really think about it, that's not really a question for you. Like, that's God. Like, God said you were worthy enough to come here. God said you were worthy enough to be sent to earth, to exist, to be given a heartbeat, to be given a pulse that beats without you doing anything to beat it. Like, that really isn't a question for me. So are you enough? Yes, you've already been decided that you are enough. You're here. You are here. So going back to that definition, you deserve to be alive. You deserve to be cared for. You deserve to be loved. You deserve to take up space. You are worthy. You are worth $1 bajillion. I will see you in your cute little worthy face that's been worthy since you were born and who will be worthy until the day you die, and that can do nothing to change your worthiness. I will see you on the next live chat. See ya. Namaste.